Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo, and you're watching another live edition of the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news product views, because it's in video, and answers that you can use. Like an answer to the question, Chris, are you going to start breaking a sweat? And I hope the answer is no. I've got the window cracked right now. That's why I've got this nice blue color coming in from this side of the video as I kind of drop frames left and right. Whoa, vapor trails, man. So why was this broadcast set up and why was it a little late? Because Google Chrome didn't like it. Google Chrome just decided to freeze. And I'd say, well, it's a slow system, but it's not. I am using my new iMac, the 5K Retina display iMac, which I've been using now for a few days, although I haven't really talked about it all that much. Got it going over the weekend. It takes a while to move from one computer to another, and I'm very happy to have now effectively made a small leap from the Mac Pro to this particular iMac. And should mention that when we reach 1,000 patrons, 1,000 true patrons at chrispirillo.com or patreon.com/chrispirillo. I almost reached for the new one. We're going to be giving away my MacBook Pro, the Retina display MacBook Pro, as well as possibly giving away that Mac Pro if we can get to 1,000. But it seems that either people don't care, they don't want it, or they're not realizing that I've been giving stuff away. Gave away a Nexus 10 last week. I got to talk to Max 3099 though, because I may have to come up with an alternative for him. I was going to give him my Nexus 7, but I decided to hold on to it because, I hope everybody can hear me okay. The microphone that I'm using right now I know is not amazing. In fact, oh God, I better check. Test. Okay, that's not really horrible. Hopefully that's a little better. It's difficult, when you're outside your production range. Google, the Hangouts, that's what I'm using to broadcast right now. Or the Google Plus Hangouts, they don't accept FireWire in terms of input devices, and that's what I use the HV40 out of the MacBook, which I've upgraded to the new MacBook Pro right here that I've not yet unboxed. Now, I've got to remember like 13,000 things as I do this broadcast, but let me go ahead and flip over to the live video feed page, because theoretically I'm streaming, and check for comments. And oh, look at that. Good afternoon, good evening. I think we're doing well, or at least well enough. The challenge with doing your own live production is that sometimes things can get tripped up. Shh. I was echoing back to myself. Do I sound okay? Input devices, and that's what I use. Oh God, I sound horrible. Do I really sound that bad? I sound horrible. I do apologize. I'm still kind of going. Should I tempt fate? Try plugging a USB microphone in and see if OS 10 crashes or Google Chrome crashes, or if I can use that microphone without refreshing. Okay, I'm going to tempt fate here. And as I'm tempting fate, I have to also be reminded that we're giving away an Intel Android tablet today. And I mentioned that, oh, actually, where's that cable? I've been moving cables all over the place. USB. We're giving one away from last week if you were participating with the hashtag, and I'll be announcing that recipient in just a moment. First, let's see if we can crash the new computer. Okay, I have power. All right. Hi, everybody. Did you see Pixie back there? There. Ow! Pixie's right back there. Oh, and the cables, cords, and clutter. You don't want to see that. It's ignore the clutter. There. Just ignore it. Pretend it didn't happen. And let's see if this will work. Because I can't imagine you listening to me the whole way. Oh my God. I think it might work. Did it? Do I sound better? Tell me I sound better. Because I hot swapped, I plugged and played the USB microphone into the computer, and hopefully that sounds a fair amount better than what was can't see or hear anything, just a blank screen. John, I don't know what to tell you. Other people can hear me. Yeah, we're doing our best to make things work the way they need to be working. So the Intel Android tablet giveaway. We've got 4 more. So you still have a chance to participate. And in case you didn't know, Intel is inside more and more Android devices like this one. This is an empty box, but I took it out of the box for a reason. Sorry, the recipient will not get to unbox it necessarily because I kind of already did. The Asus MemoPad 8, an Intel Android tablet. I set it up, and where is it? Okay, I've got way too many devices around me. I can't believe I just said that. So the recipient of this particular Intel Android tablet, his name is Matthew Newton. Now, he entered the last giveaway that we did, the series of giveaways, and he entered again, and he had the best, to me, like the best tweet, the one that caught my attention. I checked out the app. It was a lot of fun, and he did everything he needed to do to qualify. Well, not exactly everything. I mean, he did. He included Chris Pirillo. He included the Intel Android hashtag, and he made a recommendation for a photo or video editor app. The only issue, if I had an issue, is that he used it as a reply, and that doesn't work as well because other people wouldn't be able to see the recommendations unless they were following you and me at the same time. So he recommended this app, which if I can adjust the brightness here. There we go. Let's turn it down a bit. I don't know what you how you pronounce this, but Catwang. And the idea is that you can take a picture and then you could put these objects over anything, and you could basically edit and have fun with these objects. And so Matthew, he allegedly has an Intel like tattoo as well. I'm going to retweet you. There we go. You are the recipient. I will be getting in touch with you likely by way of the @LockerGnome account on Twitter. Thank you for the recommendation, Catwang. It was a lot of fun. You had a very creative submission, and it jumped out at me. And so you are getting this one. We're giving others away as well. Now, if you're a developer or looking to be a developer, you might consider using Intel, or at least getting into their Intel Developer Zone, or IDZ for short. A whole ton. As opposed to a whole little. No, it's a lot of resources for you to get started. The question for this week, anybody can participate. Head over to Twitter. It's easy to do. The question is, what is your favorite entertainment app? Entertainment. That's a broad category. What entertains you, right? Your favorite entertainment app. If I pick your suggestion, you could receive the next Intel Android tablet that we're giving away. Make sure you in Twitter, you say, oh, my favorite entertainment app is whatever, and then hashtag Intel Android and include @Chris Pirillo as well. That's all you got to do. So that way I know that I'm tracking the Intel Android hashtag. You've included me on it. And you know what? Honestly, I'm going to say that creativity counts. I mean, this one jumped out at me, and when you see it, what I just retweeted, I think you'll understand. Like, whoa, no doubt that was a pretty big submission there. I mean, in a tweet, 140 characters or less. What else are you going to do? So the Levi Zuber says, you sound so much better. Hey, man, I'm here for you. Oh, yeah, I'm here for you. So the iMac first impressions. So I've only had one other iMac, and currently Diana's kind of using it, although not really as much anymore. I think she's kind of moving on with her computing needs. The whole of that just looks like I'm processing and watching and producing at the same time. That still looks like I'm a little hot. Okay, let's try that. So I don't want the audio to suck on the broadcast. That's the thing. I moved from a Mac Pro, 2008, early 2008 Mac Pro to the new Retina 5K iMac. And it's definitely faster. Like processing tasks, I mean, they're snappy, they're quick. Things are definitely more responsive and faster on this iMac compared to my classic Mac Pro, for the most part, in terms of what I've been able to do with it to this point. So it is definitely fast, no doubt about it. In terms of responsiveness of the screen, some people have been concerned, like, I don't think the video card can handle it. I think the video card is handling it just fine. However, I mean, it's been responsive, like built-in apps like Safari and everything. They seem to work just as responsively as they did before, for the most part. However, Chrome is dog. You gotta set so many flags in Google Chrome. I mean, the shipping version of Google Chrome in order to make it more responsive. But Chrome has never really been much on performance. It eats battery like you wouldn't believe, eats power like you wouldn't believe, siphons resources like you wouldn't believe, and it's just not, generally speaking, it's not a very responsive browser. But I still use Google Chrome because it affords me the best of many worlds. So out of the box, it works very well, or works well enough for a new iMac. And I'm going to mirror the same experiences I had with the first gen Retina display MacBook Pro. I mean, it was nice. I mean, because the screen, the sharpness of the screen, and you know what else is driving me nuts right now? The fact that I'm going in and out of focus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a little app called Webcam Settings that I got off the App Store and freeze the, where is it? No, not aperture priority. Sorry, I'm adjusting myself live on YouTube. I want to lock the focus. Where's the focus? There's a focus. There we go. Auto off. Okay. I should no longer refocus. Can you see this? I'm broadcasting live. I was able to change the video settings and the audio settings just off of, regular old stuff. Now, the reason why I'm not using the built-in iSight camera, because honestly, it's still not that good. It's not that great. I mean, it's fine for basic, video chatting and everything, but this is a separate webcam entirely. So my first experience with the Retina display MacBook Pros is kind of like with the iMac. I mean, it was definitely faster. It was a step up. The Retina display is beautiful. I mean, even when I zoom in on the screen, the text is clear, it's crisp. Apps are for the most part responsive, but I mean, it's operating at 60 hertz and everything, and tests have been done and have been verified, and I haven't seen any jumpiness or jitteriness that way. But when this particular MacBook shipped, the software had not yet been optimized for Retina displays, and then I think it was like pretty close after it shipped, Apple released an update or two, patches to OS X, that addressed some of the issues that you'd have specifically with UI jerkiness. And even though I haven't seen a ton of UI jerkiness, I've seen enough that it's a lot of pixels that packing into a screen. I'm not even optimized for Retina display. I went even larger to get a larger desktop resolution, so I can get more on the screen. And it's still just, to me, it's just as sharp. Apple still needs to tweak the software a bit to improve performance. So I believe, based on history, they improved the performance of the MacBook, the first gen MacBook Pro Retina. I believe that Apple will likely do the same thing with the 5K iMac, continue to release tweaks. They got it out. It works. There's nothing here that's going, oh my God, I can't use this. It's working just fine. Absolutely. Right out of the gate. So I'm happy with it. I'm very, very happy. It's faster. The screen is no doubt beautiful. It's responsive in spots. Google Chrome needs tweaking. But see, that's the thing. It's like, well, what do you use more than Google Chrome? Is it faster? Yes, demonstrably faster. Everything stem to stern. I mean, that's why you're using a desktop. But the primary reason to use this is if you're a content creator. So I have not had a full chance to run it through the complete ringer of video processing for editing the vlogs or what have you. Although the iMac unboxing will be uploaded real soon. Patrons will get a sneak peek before that goes public too. I think Apple did well. I think they've got a pretty good price point. I went with I spec'd it out because and part of the reason why, and you'll see this in the unboxing, and I'm going to look forward or look for possibly doing even a review and showing you how I use it. But I'm using the iMac right now, just so you know. Any kind of lag that you might see with the frame drops, it always happens with Google Chrome. Always, 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 always. There's nothing I can do to fix that. The people I have to thank, because I went to them, I'm like, hey, I'm about to get some new hardware. Do you want to do something together again? Again, parallels. Without parallels, I wouldn't necessarily be sitting in front of a new iMac at this point. They covered part of it, and I really, really appreciate it. I wanted to run parallels on this machine, if only to run virtual machines of not just Windows, but also OS X. And do certain things in that virtual machine of OS X that I don't necessarily do on the primary desktop. So I'm very, very appreciative of Parallels. Go.tagjag.com/ parallels is where you can get more information. And I believe usually they have a discount on the other side, specifically for the people who come through my link. So yeah, initial impressions are generally positive. In my iMac right now, I have plugged something that somebody recommended. I went to across social, but the person who recommended it was on Facebook specifically. I wanted something that I could plug in like an external device to without having to crawl around to the back. So like I did with the microphone, I went around to the back and plugged in the USB cable, and I'll rejigger it when I'm done here. But I wanted a way that if I wanted to, say, plug in something else that I just got, an Anchor, and I bought this, or I got it on Amazon, used a free gift card courtesy of go.tagjag.com/freepoints. It's basically an SD reader, a USB SD reader, very, very small. I already have one unboxed too. I got 2 of them. Very, very, very tiny here, Anchor, right there, USB 3. And I didn't want to like reach around to the back and plug it in, you know, all the time. So I wanted a way to stylistically pull the USB connection out to the front. This is what was recommended, and I got one, and I think it'll work just perfectly. This is exactly what I was looking for. Goes into the USB port in the back and then curves around underneath the screen, and this is exactly what I was looking for. This is what I wanted. It is from Blue Lounge, Jimmy. There's a few bucks on Amazon, but as I said, I used for both of these things I used Amazon gift cards. Pretty easy to install. Just slip it in there, and you're good to go. Suppose you could use it in any USB port, but it's specifically designed for the iMac. And I have one plugged in right now. And I'm taking a look to see what else I've got on my desk. Oh, Intelli Armor. The Smarter Screen Protector, ultra clear, exceptionally strong, slim fit, oleophobic coating, easy installation. Nice. They sent this. I don't know if I asked for it, though. Still cool. And then another one for the iPhone 6. 2 screen protectors. And I may try this on the iPhone 6. Not that I've had an issue with the one that I have been using, but you know, I'm always interested in trying new things. And if it's easy installation and it protects that screen from getting any nicks or cracks, then I'm thrilled. The Smarter Screen Protector iPad Air. So it's for the iPad Air, which should work with the Air 2. And if you didn't catch the podcast feed on SoundCloud, I'm very, very happy with the iPad Air entirely. This is, in my estimation, well, not just the best iPad they've made. I mean, it's made iOS 8 usable. It makes it very responsive, and I attribute the responsiveness of iOS 8 specifically to having 2 gigs of RAM in the iPad Air. That is the reason. I mean, beyond the Touch ID integration, which I also happen to like, that is the reason to get an iPad Air. If you're looking for, you know, an upgrade and you want a more responsive system, a lot of the herky-jerkiness that I've experienced in iOS 7 and 8, I would say is pretty much all but eliminated. I mean, pretty much eliminated. All but eliminated? I think it's still maybe in spots, but it's responsive. So I'm very much looking forward to new iOS devices with 2 gigs of RAM or more, if only so that it can be far more responsive. Next, I tweeted out earlier because people have been asking if I'm going to be getting the Nexus 9. And originally I planned on getting the Nexus 9. And then I read a couple of reviews, not just on The Verge, but there's a leading Android fan site that pretty much said the same thing as The Verge, which was really funny because when I said, well, after, you know, seeing The Verge review, I tweeted this earlier, I'm not sure about the Nexus 9. And a lot of people say, well, The Verge just likes Apple, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but everything that they were saying about the Nexus 9 had nothing to do with Apple. Like, it had to do with HTC and Google's design decisions. So it's like, last I knew, they're not responsible for things that other companies do. So it has nothing to do with being quote unquote pro-Apple or anti-Apple, because a lot of those experiences were mirrored, not word for word, but basically mirrored on another site, a leading Android community site. So I don't know if I do plan on getting what I thought I was going to be getting, the Nexus 9. I'm likely going to be sticking right now in terms of the Nexus line of products with the Nexus 7. Though I'm very much looking forward to Lollipop. I don't have it yet. I keep waiting. I'm like, refresh, and it has not come in yet. So as soon as I get Lollipop, I'll be giving you my first impressions with that. So now, I did not get to cover the AMA. I mean, I did on the SoundCloud page. Hopefully many of you have been listening to that. It's been a couple of weeks since I've been able to do a live video in this channel. That they're not going away. I do plan on moving TLDR, however. A lot of news regurgitation. I do plan on migrating that to another platform, the SoundCloud. But I'll still be producing live videos. We're still trying to figure out exactly what that's going to be. But it may very well be a lot more product talk. Like I'm thinking of like a product of the day, basically, and saying, all right, today, the product of the day is this because I needed it and blah, 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 blah. And it does this, and so that's it. Basically like something of the day. And it may even be an app. But that's what I'm thinking for a daily program in this particular channel. And a lot of that wouldn't necessarily be timely, so the people who are patrons would get those videos ahead of time. And still kind of working through a new workflow here. Thank you for your patience. Really, really, really do appreciate it like you would not believe. A few questions here from the open Facebook thread since I answered most, if not all, of the patron comments the other day. Let me check here. Sorry, I was getting texts from Jazz and Slav. Let's see here. I'm looking for good questions here. Questions that I haven't answered. Or questions that I will answer. Calvin Murphy, 7 questions down, asks, what was all your trick-or-treat costumes? Well, you'll see in the vlog. I don't want to ruin the surprise. Joe Pierce asks, how do you feel? Hopeful. Ben Adams asks, how do you manage being a parent and vlogging? I'm a parent of a 6-year-old and 2-month-old. It's difficult. Like today has been very difficult. Mondays are really tricky for me, but we're making it work. And I have the opportunity to have enough flexibility throughout the day. Doing live video feeds, that's the trickiest part of video. When you're trying to time it live so that you're able to get out there and participate with community live. And we do have a live community who's tuned in, and I'll be looking at their questions next. Saraba Mathor asks, what will you do when your house runs out of space for any new Lego sets or minifigs? Buy more shelves or get a bigger house. Donna Hartman Miller asks, how do I get unstuck? In what? I don't unstuck. So if you find yourself in a rut, in a position where you're feeling defeated, sometimes you have to take stock in what's working well or what brings you happiness and double down on that. Because if all you're doing is dealing with negativity and that negativity is in your head and it's just negative, you're never going to escape that. And you have to sometimes push yourself out of that modality. That way of thinking could be very, very destructive, self-destructive, really. And so I would wholeheartedly encourage you to sit down and you can write pros and cons. You can write just all the things in life that you've got. It could be health. It could be friendships. It could be Lego minifigures. It could be whatever that is. And start there. Honestly, start there. Next question. T. Watkins asked, do you have the new MacBook Pro Retina 15-inch? Yes, I do. Haven't unboxed it yet. Can you believe it? Because it came in today. Someone whose name I can't pronounce asks, how do you feel about Pete's Coffee and Tea's Gaia Organic Blend? I tried it. It was okay. It was fine. Thread Lamont asks, is the strategy that Google has with Android better long-term? Okay, we've kind of covered this topic ad nauseum, but Apple makes their money through hardware, but isn't the future becoming increasingly software? And for example, the iPad this year isn't making as much money as last year. Well, okay, I don't know how to rehash this without sounding like I'm repeating myself. What I've honestly, this is a topic that I feel I have beaten beyond death. Two completely different players, two completely different approaches to the marketplace, and they're not mutually exclusive. That's the long and short of it. Google plays like this. Apple plays like this, and they can both coexist. If I can, they can both coexist in the same space, and work out quite nicely. So I don't know who's going to win. That's like asking, is Microsoft Windows going to win? Well, yes and no. People still use Windows. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. But has that stopped Apple from selling Macs or, having OS X specifically, on Macs where they're controlling that entire ecosystem? That is, it's difficult to say that one is going to be better than another long term. I just don't see either one of them being better long term, if only because I can't compare. What's better? Better is I don't know. Better is relative. No one knows, but I think that I think for anybody to say that Android's going to be better long term or iOS or Apple's camp is going to be better long term, they're not. They can't predict the future, and B, it depends on what you're measuring in terms of what's better. So it just depends. Chelsea Parsons asks, what's it like being so awesome? I'll let you know if I'm ever that. Jackson Domino asks, what's the best product you've bought this year? This year? The entire year? Best product. Ow. Oh, man, my back. I pulled a muscle this morning. Best product. I don't know. I can tell you the most recent product I bought that I'm like thrilled about. Is that good enough? Because I don't know if I can narrow it down. A Darth Vader Hot Wheels car. Oh, look at that! It's Darth Vader Hot Wheels. Isn't that neat? It's not going to be in focus because I locked the focus, but check it out, Darth Vader, and they also have like an X-wing, an R2-D2, a Yoda car, and then a Chewbacca truck there. Star Wars, Darth Vader. It's a Darth Vader car. It's collectible. I don't want to take it out of the package. So it's like I got to spend another $3 to get another one. I didn't even collect Hot Wheels when I was a kid. I mean, I had a few of them, right? I liked Matchbox cars too. Matchbox I liked in Hot Wheels. I didn't really have a preference one over the other. You can get these now. Star Wars Hot Wheels. That's one of the it's fun. See that? You know what? I mean, I enjoy the iMac, but I honestly, I enjoy it. And I enjoy the new MacBook Pro, and I enjoy all these, things, but I mean, when you look at my face, that's how you know I'm lighting up. That honestly, that was the same face that I had when I first saw the even though even though I'm sitting so close, I still have to like do this with my glasses. The sharpness of the text on the screen is absolutely beautiful on the new iMac. It is just breathtaking. I was whoa, holy cow. It's been tempered with some performance like I talked about earlier, but it's pretty good. Next. John Road Dog says, I do and you never answer. Someone needs to tell John Road Dog that he's wrong. Glenn Campbell asks, am I corrupting my daughter with my Halloween costume? Whoa, that is one hell of a Halloween costume if that's you. Andrew Butler asked as I look around for the rest of my coffee. Thank you, Andrew. He jumped the gun. John R. I said the same thing. He's answering these in the podcasts right now. Let's see here. Andrew does love the audio format. And I'm doing the video today because number one, I can. Number two, it's been a couple weeks since I did video. I'm trying to let you know kind of what's up, what's going on. This week is going to kind of be a little bit of upheaval. But we'll get into the regular swing of things. But like I said, you should definitely subscribe to the SoundCloud channel for the audio stuff, which is where most of the daily talk is going to be. I'm still going to do a live thing, potentially from this angle, potentially from that angle, where I show a product of the day. That's what I'm thinking. And I might call it Pirillo's Picks or CPU, Chris Pirillo's Universe. Today's product is a Darth Vader Hot Wheel. That kind of thing. Or today's product is this. Ow. It's not a lip protector. Ow. Thomas Hoops asks, will you be getting the Nexus 6? I don't know. Possibly, but I don't know. I'd like to, but I don't know. It's the amount of money that you spend, and I have, I revolve my gadgets, right? I sell the old ones to get the new ones, and I slimline. or I try to slim down or keep it trim to streamline, not slimline. I don't think slimline is a word. To just so I'm not surrounded with gadgets that become worthless in a year, and which is one of the reasons why it's done. Oh, it's a new iPad. Okay, next. It's just technology. It's a means to an end. It's not the means itself or the thing itself. It's the things that it enables. So right now, I'm not sure how much I have left over in my gadget budget from selling old devices for new ones, but the Nexus 6 is likely something that I would rather get than a Nexus 9, even though it's more expensive, if that makes sense. Fernando Fitch, sorry. We want to see Jedi with a Halloween costume. Well, you did you will in the vlog, and you did on my Facebook feed and Instagram feed and Twitter feeds. I took a picture. It lasted longer. Weird stuff. Simon Blackburn asks about the return of IRC in the embedded live stream. Probably not going to happen. If Patreon enables live chat, I'll do it. But at this stage, it's not very. It's another thing to manage, and it becomes a time drain where I'm trying to get something done, and somebody else wants my attention in a chat room. If you don't give someone your attention when they're asking for the attention, they get upset, and I don't want to make people upset. So Patreon says they're going to be working on some kind of system for live chat. But speaking of, I've got to give some of these patrons credit that they so deserve. Got it. I think I've got it. There we go. So we got our supernomies, right? Oh, I may need to turn down the brightness on that just a tad. There we go. Oh, you can see my reflection. There we go. Prodad. There we go. Okay, and if I tap the screen, then you can see it. There we go. Look at that. Movie.com. I'm going to be seeing Bob here soon. Earth Networks. See, what you don't understand is everything I'm seeing, it's completely backwards. You can see the bottom of my head. Because one of the bonuses that I give some of these patrons at that level is that they get their name in the TLDR, and we even accommodated them in the whatchamacallit too, the audio feed. We spoke their names, so I want to make sure they're getting the credit that they're going to receive. It's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks or months as I retool a few things and expect to hear more about that at some point. Unfortunately, if I press play on this presentation, you can see in this corner I'm using Google Docs. It doesn't work. Even the Google Docs or Google Drive app on iOS or even Android just doesn't work well. Maybe they'll push out an update that'll make it work like it does directly on the web, but for some reason or another, it never works that way when I use it on a mobile device, which is wholly disappointing because I'd rather press play and just sit there and talk to you rather than you seeing the top of my head as I give all these people credit. So expect more patron bonuses coming down the pike. If you thought I was giving a lot before, I'm working with a very tiny team to bring you even more. And possibly even more of what you wanted before. And a lot of that's going to be early access to some content that everybody else is going to see. And then of course, some bonus content as well. It's difficult to do everything. And it's difficult to accommodate everybody, but you got to understand we are definitely doing our best. And you can see up there in the tab at the top, you can see that it is that's the AMA thread from Patreon. That's what I used the last time. Hey, Don and Val Heller, they're vlogging now too. God, I've inspired for some reason or another. I've inspired a lot. I guess here, look, it's like I'm an alien with an iPad. I'm iPad head. There, that's a little. I can still see. It's crazy, and I'm tilting it that way because if I tilt it down, there you can see the ticks clocks. You would just see a reflection of yourself or me. You wouldn't see yourself because why could you see yourself? Because you're the camera. You can't see the camera's crazy. Who knows what's going on with that? Anyway, so there's a couple other questions that I know we have that I wanted to try to get to before I close out this particular broadcast. But let me make sure I got everybody here. I can't answer the same questions over and over again when I open the AMA thread. Some people ask, why don't you answer this question? Oh, sorry, Kermit. That was kind of a quick. Boris Natasha. Oh, okay. I went backward. Am I going backwards? Do you even PowerPoint? I don't. I really don't. You can see just how responsive the iPad Air 2 is right now. It's very responsive. No, it's really it's about the best iOS device that I've used to this point. Not just because of screen, but because of responsiveness. Dang, we got a ton of patrons. That's awesome, and they're going to be getting more bonuses. That's even more awesome. And I should probably hang on just a second. Try it. Oh, dang it. There, you just saw the top of the screen. Don't you just love these type of productions? Yeah. See, if I had more patrons, I'd be able to bring aboard a production crew and ramp this up, so it wouldn't be so this. But it works. I mean, honestly, it does work. I think, I mean, it does in just about every way that I could possibly make it work. Your name could be there. Is everything backwards or is it forward? If everything was backwards in the video, it's that's really, honestly, in looking at all the questions, everybody who's asking questions, I've already answered the questions before, and so I'm not going to answer them again, because I don't have to. And I think I've been talking long enough. Let me go ahead and flip back to see the live people who are live people. Everyone's alive. Yay. Just seeing if I can catch any questions that have come in. Now, I don't know if I see any other questions, but everybody's asking, or everybody's who's watching live is appreciating the way things are going. That's awesome. Although one question that did pop out here, Troy Loisel asks, Chris, have you used Apple Pay yet? If so, what do you think? I have, and this is pretty cool. I was like, that was another one of those things that you do it, and it's like, whoa, holy cow, it was like magical. And like 2 months down the road, it's like, whatever. It's not a big deal. But the first time you do it, it is pretty neat. I really think it's nice. Having a limited exposure to doing NFC types of payments before, Apple Pay is very, very easy to use. Jonathan McConnell, I told you I can't see very well, asks thoughts on Inbox. This is a product a product that Google's released in beta, and I think you need an invite for it. And it basically scans your Gmail or your inbox and will give you basically a different view of your inbox. And I've seen it and it works, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's amazing. But it works well, or at least it works well enough. And I haven't tried it yet, so I can't pass full judgment on it. I'll try it when it's like publicly available, but I like a clean inbox, and I've run a clean inbox, generally speaking. I've used Microsoft Outlook, the new version on OS 10, and it's nice. I mean, it's better than the older versions performance-wise, but I'm still I like the Mail app on OS 10, even though it's not perfect in any way. As long as these tools continue to evolve and get better over time, I'm fine with them. So I haven't found a perfect email client, although the iOS email I like. That's probably one of my favorites if it can work past its own bugs that it has, because I still have the problem even after resetting the iPhone to factory and all that stuff and clearing it out and all that junk. I still have a problem with the loading screen on email. It's disappointing, but I don't know if Apple's paying attention, if they're going to fix it, if I'm going to have to live with it or find another way of getting email. I'm hoping that Microsoft will release a version of Outlook for iOS. That's what I want. That would be awesome. Because I really like the way Hotmail, or I guess whatever they're called, Outlook.com works. I like the way Exchange Server OWA works. I like the way it looks. And it's clean. It's effective. I always like that way more than I liked Gmail. All right, so I think that's about it, other than Penelope's Playhouse asking if I'm using a Logitech HD Pro webcam. I think I am, the C930E. Yeah, it's nice. It's clean. Cesar Orozco asks, or says, the focus was bothering you. Well, I'm glad I fixed it. Sorry about the beginning. I wasn't trying to prove or illustrate my production prowess, obviously, but hopefully this broadcast went off without a hitch. I really enjoy doing the audio TLDRs. That's the way I want to go with TLDR. Patrons will get early access. They'll get other bonuses on top of that. I will be doing more live videos in this channel, likely product focused. I'll be doing dedicated Q&As with you and me. Those are, bonuses for people who want those thoughts. So I'm just retooling, not what I do as much as where I do it and how it's done. So you're not missing anything. And even the people who said, I don't want to listen to the audio TLDR, they like it more. They like it way more. And I don't even think the way that I did this video would work in audio form. And I just don't. I'm different when I'm audio, completely different than when I'm in video. Although I'm told that I'm blurring when I move around a lot. Canadian Liz says I'm moving too much. Well, that's the problem. I need to be less animated. I have another product on my desk, but I'm going to save that for tomorrow. You kind of saw part of it, but not really. There's a little teaser. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Good to see you again. Sorry if I missed anything from the chat. I'm working on being a better me for you and doing everything that I can do to help you have a great week. And I hope you do have a great week. I hope you're happy, so long as your happiness does not come at the cost of somebody else's happiness. I love you. I appreciate you. And I do believe in you. I can't be everything. I can't do everything all the time, but I am doing my best. And hopefully you understand and appreciate that in return. But at this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices.